I know I'm not the only adult that sits in their car wondering how they're making the most money they've ever made in their entire life, and it still doesn't seem to be enough. My rent is $2,000 a month, and I live in a townhouse. My car note is $535 a month, and that's on the low end compared to what I see a lot of people pay. My car insurance is $370 between two vehicles. And every time I've turned around, that's going up, and they can't even tell you why, other than that the rates have increased. Fucking why? And then you got some orange man in office trying to convince you that your grocery bill has decreased, but I just went and spent $100 on fucking chips, bread, bananas, apples, some muffin, and hamburger meat. Oh, don't forget the $10 eggs. My HOA just decided to charge me $100 because I left my garbage can sitting out in front of my house for a couple of days because I needed to let it dry after dumping it with bleach because there were maggots in there. You rent from these companies and they penny pinch you on everything that they can. We are being bullied into poverty by these corporations and billionaires. And we have somebody in office gaslighting us in our face, telling us, oh, no, you're not. I don't understand how the families that are living off $15 an hour, how are you doing it? How do you pay your rent? What do you do when your car breaks down? I don't know, dude. I'm just sitting here. I'm blessed compared to a lot of people, and it's still hard.
Y'all, I'm exhausted. I am exhausted of paying off debt, and I can't even mask it. There's a kind of exhaustion that comes with long-term goals. And that is exactly what I'm feeling right now when it comes to debt payoff. You know, it's that kind of tired that doesn't actually go away. Like, you get a good night's rest, but like, you're still tired. You're still exhausted. And you just keep on kind of doing the thing, right? Over and over again. You are paying, you're tracking, you're updating, you're paying, you're tracking, you're updating. Some months you celebrate and you're super excited and you're like, woo, look at that. And other months you are just trying to survive. And I swear this is the time of year where it's all about just staying afloat. All right. And no one really talks about that part. The emotional hangover of being responsible all the time. Sure, at some point in time you weren't responsible. Otherwise you wouldn't be in debt. But now you have to be responsible, and that shit sucks. Anyway, I'm proud of the progress, but I'm also allowed to be tired of the process. And that is where I am right now.
So we live in a very interesting culture because on one end, you know, we talk about the grind, we talk about the hustle, but I really think that most of that really depends on it coming to an end or there being some type of outcome from it. Nobody wants to just to hustle, and that's where most Americans are finding themselves. So it's about time that you start figuring out different ways to make money. And I just recommend you guys start making money online. Look up ways to make money online, and you can eventually change your circumstances.
I don't know about you, but it is so hard paying off credit card debt. I post about this basically every day, talking about my credit card debt payoff journey. I started at over $13,000. I'm now down to $5,500. I'm also trying to save at least $10,000 to bring my mom on an African safari when she retires. And it is just so hard, and I can't help but feel resentful of people who have money. And when I say have money, I mean like have enough money where they don't have to think twice about filling up their car for gas or going grocery shopping. I would love that. I would love that small luxury. And I can't help but feel so resentful for it. And I am just like kind of feeling frustrated. I'm feeling frustrated that I don't have money. It's just frustrating. And a big reason of why I started posting on TikTok is, one, documenting my journey of paying off my debt and saving to bring my mom away, but also in hopes that I could make money on here. So many people make money on here, and I would love to make money on here and just pay off my debt and be able to bring my mom away. And I know it's a slow process, but all of this can just get so discouraging, and it's so hard paying off credit card debt on top of such a high living cost, especially in New York City where I live, and I'm just frustrated. That's my rant. I'm frustrated and I'm resentful, and I'm big enough to admit it. I'm big enough to admit that I'm frustrated and resentful, and I wish I had enough money where going grocery shopping wasn't a make or break thing for me.
$20.
What?
So it's $20 on the table.
Okay.
What do you think the $20 note thinks of you?
Nothing. It's just money. It's just a piece of paper.
Of course.
Right.
It can't think. It's a piece of paper with 20 written on it.
Sure.
It's a commodity. It doesn't think. It's a commodity that's used to transact for goods and services to satisfy wants and needs. The problem with it, with most people, what they don't understand is that all the problems with money exist with them,
Sure.
not with the money. The money doesn't think anything of you. So whether it's $20, $100, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, $100,000, $1 million, it doesn't matter. Because $1 million or $100,000 or $10,000 is just a whole bunch of 20s that think nothing of you. So there's no difference except monetary value. It's having emotional barriers, because the more money I put down on the table, the more you think of it, because you think automatically of what it can buy you to satisfy wants and needs.
Right.
The key is to be indifferent. Understanding the function of money is very important in order to respect money. But at the same time, you also have to reduce to zero your emotional barriers, and you have to be indifferent. How can you actually be respectful of money, but at the same time be indifferent? Respect in this context is simply having awareness. So it's having awareness of what money actually is and being indifferent to money when you look at it, when you see more and more and more of it. And that's the key.
Sometimes I wonder if it's really just that simple. We're over here stressing about paper or digital something that doesn't matter when we die. The only reason it's valuable is because we first have life. That's the interesting thing about money. Very interesting thing about money.
I was 56 years old, buried in debt, barely keeping up with the bills. Firmly believed that my wife and I would work until the day we died. We couldn't afford dinner out, let alone retirement. I felt like this hamster on a wheel and there was no way off. But last August, I found something that changed things for us. I learned how to use social media to make money online right from my phone in just a couple of hours a day. 3.5 months later, my wife was retired. 13 months later, we crushed our credit card debt. At 56, I thought I'd never be able to retire. 15 months later, at the age of 57, I'm basically living a retired life now. Life flipped around in a hurry for us.
Life is a video game, and what I forgot to tell you is that you are the controller and you are the character. The average person doesn't understand that they can actually completely control their life. You can zoom out, right, and control where your video game character goes. And back then, I didn't understand that I was the controller of the video game. I could choose where I wanted to spawn. I didn't know back then I could play life on easy mode. Back then, I struggled with anxiety. I struggled with these demons, these level 1 demons in the video game. The anxiety, the depression.
I'm laughing because I found it funny how she was like, back then? What do you mean back then? You're 19. But nah, some people actually go through things earlier than life. And some people, it takes longer for them to start to understand the circumstances of their life, accept it, and start to do something about it actively, no matter how bad it is, without blaming other people. And that's a form of taking control of your life, taking fault for the things that even you didn't do, you're just a product of. Or you could complain about it, but that's not going to solve anything for you. So there's a saying I like to say, and it's that I've never been able to pay a bill or solve a problem giving excuses and making excuses or complaining about the situation. However, like the gentleman said before, you know, the gentleman in his 50s, he was telling us that he figured out a way to make money online, make it easier for him and his wife. He's going to be able to retire them, or at least have a better chance at retirement, because he learned to make money online, guys. I don't think you understand how important the gamers you watch, they make money online. The success people are all coming on making YouTube channels and things like that. And it's about time you take advantage of everything it all has to offer. If you're interested, make sure you hit me in a DM. I'd love to chat with you. Till next time, gamer traders. Too Tall out.